Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. In this weekend stock market update, we're going to start off here with the Qs. Let's take a look at the daily and weekly view. Down 1086 on Friday, still not closing below the 10-day moving average. We can't even seem to close below a 2-day low, I don't think. It just keeps trucking. For a weekly reading, down 2.30 on the week. A little bit of a pause week in here for the Qs. Very, very strong. We're not seeing divergences on the daily at this point. When I go to the Elliott Wave picture, here's what I'm looking at. I've been expecting a wave 2 pullback. Now, I've had some people periodically call me a perma bear. Well, I don't know how you look at this chart if you're paying attention to what I'm putting on the screen. I don't know how you can call this a perma bear if my expectation is that this is going to keep subdividing higher. So whatever, because I'm looking for a wave 2 pullback and you want to call me a perma bear, have at it. I don't care because it's pretty ridiculous anyway. So now we've been looking for a correction of this very strong wave here for quite a while. We just haven't gotten it. I think we're closer, but I've been thinking that for a couple weeks now. And 2 weeks ago, I put out a post that said, about, is a correction, about to happen kind of thing. And, you can't sit and bet on it and say, oh, well, I think now we've had enough move. I think I'll go short. Well, to me, I'm not telling you what to do. I never tell you what to do with your money. To me, you don't make a move until the price action starts to tell you that something's happening and let the price action kind of dictate. Well, so far, the price action just keeps saying, hey, I'm riding the uptrend. Okay, so we'll see what happens. We're getting a lot of flags waving. There is no doubt. There's a lot of things that are kind of going, hey, caution, caution. But again, indicators don't change. Indicators don't flip the market. Only price does. Let's take a look at the SPY real quick. And I'm not going to look at the Elliott Wave picture on the SPY today. I just want to show this because I want to reference a couple of things. Okay, this dashed line right here is the end of year close. So December 31st, 25, that's where we closed, right here, 681.92. Now, I saw a really interesting post, I think it was on X, where they were talking about how many of the years, the midterm years back to 1974, every single midterm year was like a down year. And then they recovered. So, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how does this play out for the remainder of the year? I mean, we have 7.5 months to go. So, again, I'm expecting a wave 2 pullback. We'll see how far that goes. We got several little gaps. There's a little gap here, a much bigger gap to close here. I just don't know that it's going to go that far. So we'll see. The other thing that caught my eye, and I know I referenced several posts by Jason last week. And then he came out with this one this week, and this was on May 13th, which was Wednesday. So he's like, again, I know I'm shouting into a void, but today is the most new lows on the S&P since with it poking above a prior all-time closing high. First time this has ever happened, ever. And so there were several of those, like the prior week, that got your attention because there was only a couple times in history where it happened. Then all of a sudden he has this little stat that pops up. So it does get your attention, but that doesn't mean the market, is going to automatically roll over and pull back. But I think it's getting ripe. Let's put it that way. Let me look at a couple of indicators. And the indicators are based on the SPY, which is why I wanted to pull the SPY chart up. So the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average, they have not confirmed a push to new highs on the S&P, and they look like they've rolled over. And the close on this indicator, sitting here at 43.43, is the lowest close since April 10th. Well, think about all the rally that's occurred in April into early May. Okay, let's take a look at the percent of stocks above their 200-day moving average. We have the same non-confirmation, the same rollover in here, and it's the lowest close since April 7th. Back over in here, the lowest close. So again, close below all of this trading that's occurred over like last 5 to 6 weeks. New highs. Let's talk about high-low nets. New York on Friday, minus 53. So 53 more stocks hitting 52-week lows than highs on the day. That is the lowest reading since March 31st. Back over here, the day before this entire rally started. And you notice how we even got a little non-confirmation up in here. And then if you take a look at that same indicator on the Nasdaq, we're sitting at minus 119. It also is the lowest close since March 31st. Same kind of scenario going on. So kind of interesting stuff. Price action hasn't broken down yet. Let's take a look at the high yield bond fund. Kind of a risk on, risk off type of metric. This was down 39 cents on Friday. Pretty weak looking picture. Lowest close since April 1st, right here. Lowest close since April 1st. Same kind of scenario of rolling over and heading south. So again, we'll see how much more this is, is this going to matter? Well, we're going to find out here over the next couple of weeks. Okay, that's it for this video. If you felt like the video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that little subscriber button. And if you'd like to have more of this information, head on over to joehenches.net. Everyone have a wonderful week.